Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here today with a Toonami news update for today, February 23rd, 2021. First thing I want to do is go to the more breaking news, and that is a little bit earlier today we got an announcement from Toonami that the episode of Attack on Titan that will air on March 6th will be a rerun of the episode that is airing this Saturday. The reason this is because of the fact that due to the inclement weather in Texas over the past week or two, they weren't able to complete the dub for whatever time frame they're trying to complete it in. So that episode will be pushed back at least a week. And as a reminder, this is not the episode airing this Saturday. The episode airing this Saturday will be a new episode. It's the episode the week after that will be a rerun of that episode. So, as a little note there, so it's 1 week ahead here. And I'm going to just quickly go over the Facebook announcement Toonami had for this. Heads up, Attack on Titan fans. Due to weather conditions in Texas, production is a little delayed. So Toonami will be rerunning this coming Saturday's episode of Attack on Titan again next Saturday night, March 6th. Check out the March 6th lineup below and don't miss the premiere episode of Attack on Titan this Saturday night at 12:30. And it is, and the schedule is the schedule that we're used to. We have Dragon Ball Super, then the rerun episode of Attack on Titan, followed by Food Wars, which also note that's coming back this Saturday, Food Wars. Then you have Fire Force, which they spelled Fire Force here, Black Clover, S Gridman, Shippuden, and then the Demon Slayer. So again, a little bit of a tidbit here, and what this is reminiscent of is way back last spring where we had issues dubbing My Hero Academia, where I think we watched the whole mini arc with La Brava and the gentleman guy like 5 different times before that season finally ended. And it's reminiscent of that. However, since the weather in Texas is getting better as of right now, I believe it's starting to get better. This is probably just a one-off thing. So probably for March 13th, it will be the new episode after that. So this is just a 1 week inconvenience. However, the reason why this is really important is the fact that right now, as you'll see in a second when I cover the ratings, Attack on Titan has become the bell cow of the block. It was, and this is going to be a little spoiler, the highest rated show of the night. And so if, like, let's say if you're someone who isn't necessarily following all the Toonami news, you're someone who's just flipping on the TV at 12:30 expecting to see Attack on Titan. So, like, you watch this next week's episode of Attack on Titan, you're like, okay, I'm getting excited. Let's see what's the new episode going into March 6th, and then you see what is the first few minutes of the exact same episode you just saw. You're gonna be confused. Turn off the TV and just assume that like the season's over, or assume that Toonami's just not going to air the last episodes, or that there is issues with dubbing because of current outbreak and that we're not getting new episodes. And a lot of people will just simply not come back. Or you could be someone who's fully aware that it's just a 1 week thing and be like, okay, I'm just going to watch the sub for the rest of the season. I don't want to be a week behind. And I could see that because of that having a deleterious impact on the ratings, particularly bad considering right now Attack on Titan is dragging the block upward right now. So again, I've already foreshadowed this. So without further ado, now I'm going to cover Toonami's ratings for this past Saturday, March 20th. Yeah, not March 20th, February 20th, 2021. Let's start at the top of the block. At the top of the block, we have Dragon Ball Super at a 0.16, Attack on Titan at a 0.18, The Assassination Classroom Season 1 Finale at a 0.16, Fire Force at a 0.12, Black Clover at a 0.10, Gridman at a 0.11, Shipping at a 0.11, and they didn't say what Demon Slayer did, but probably like a 0.1 or 0.09. And this is a step down for the block overall. And the one thing I already mentioned this, it's probably the big headline coming out of this, the fact that Attack on Titan built on Dragon Ball Super. For the last few weeks particularly, Dragon Ball Super has looked weaker and weaker of a lead-in. It's not carrying the ratings it used to. It wasn't even carrying the 0.25-ish numbers it was consistently getting early in this rerun cycle, which is still much lower than like the 0.35s or so we would get on good occasion for Dragon Ball Super when it was a dub premiere on the block. And it's just a strong sign. Something has to give. Something needs to change. I mean, I'm thinking about like what long-term viable options they have at the top of the block. I mean, maybe they'll bring back Assassination Classroom and make it lead off because there'll be like 20-something episodes left. And it seems to be an accessible show. So it might be the type of show you can even put in middle of the run and you can get enough of an understanding to enjoy it, you know? And also kind of blends in with Adult Swim maybe a bit more than some of the other shows on the block. And then like other shows too, like Boruto's never coming back, unfortunately. And we've been told indirectly Konosuba's never coming to the block, Mob Psycho 2 is never coming to the block. So I mean, and that's the thing here. You can't just like look at like other shows coming down the pipeline, looking at something like a Doctor Stone season 2 or Promise Neverland season 2 and be like, "Oh, that can lead off the block." None of those shows are pulling in good enough numbers to lead off a block. So that's going to become kind of an issue for for Adult Swim, for Toonami. And you can't just simply say, well, Attack on Titan, because you only have like 5, 6 episodes left. And not only is the season over, the show is over. So, I mean, unless you're going to commit to running reruns of it like you did Dragon Ball, I don't think that's going to work. And again, Assassination Classroom 2, it's another tragedy. It barely dropped. It's one of the better performing shows of the night. It tied Dragon Ball Super in the ratings. However, it's the show that's leaving the block, making room for Food Wars. Now, what am I expecting for Food Wars? Food Wars, when it was first on the block, was more or less a surprise hit. A lot of people were really thinking, "Oh, it's ecchi, it's shonen, but it's not our type of shonen. It's gonna do horribly." But no, it consistently pulled in over a point two, and it was one of the higher rated shows for the night. Virtually every week it was on the air. But I'm not gonna say right off the bat it's gonna be a point two right off the block. It's not going to, because even for shows that have a decent amount of promotion, which I might be wrong, I haven't seen a commercial for Food Wars being back on the block yet. It's still going to take a few weeks of word of mouth or so to get people to start watching it on Adult Swim again. That might be part of the issue that Black Clover is seeing right now. Black Clover had a disappointing, I'll say a disappointing 0.13 when it came back, and an even more disappointing 0.10 when it came back. However, you can argue part of the reason why its ratings are so low is not just word of mouth or people not remembering that it's now on Adult Swim again. It's possibly the fact that I've been told that we're basically dropped right in the middle of a big pocket of filler right now. So filler, depending on the show, can increase or decrease the ratings. We have seen in the past for Black Clover, it decreases the ratings. Top of the head, the only show I could think of where filler increases the ratings is Naruto, Shippuden on occasion, and that's really it. But again, like I said, Attack on Titan holding reasonably well. Assassination Classroom, decent number, but that's leaving. Fire Force at a 0.12, pretty unremarkable. Fire Force, not in a good or a bad way. It's just been like I keep saying this. It's the one show I keep forgetting is on the block, which is incredible considering how when it was announced that season 2 is coming to the block, it was considered massive news, you know. But I found it to be interesting. And then another buried lead here is that S Gridman not only was not the lowest rated show of the night, it actually built on Black Clover, which is something if you told me just a week or two ago was going to happen, I would have thought you're crazy. But here we are. Gridman 0.11, Black Clover 0.10. And it's a bit of a surprise, but it's not like that big of a accomplishment because the number is still pretty low at a 0.11, even considering the time of night. Kind of a disappointing number for Gridman. Gridman has kind of been the black sheep of the family here. It's never really done that well. It's shaping up to be one of the bigger disappointments of Toonami so far in this young year. Like I said, every year I do like top 5 best, top 5 worst things about Toonami, and usually I save one of the top 5 and one of the top 5 bottom slots for like a show pickup. And there's plenty of time for this to change, of course, but right now SSSS Gridman is shaping up to be the one that's on the worst list, but mostly because of its performance being so lackluster. And then you have Shippuden and Black and then Demon Slayer doing their things in the block. They're just there until the end, basically. So nothing you can really say about that. And that's just to wrap things up again. Dragon Ball Super really dragging down the block again. Attack on Titan, we might have some issues in a couple weeks with confusion regarding the rerun we're going to have in a couple weeks. And then Assassination Classroom, which also did well, is leaving the block. So a bit of a shaky position for Toonami right now. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the shows we have in the block now? What show do you want to see in the block next? Leave your comments, leave your opinions down below. I appreciate reading them. If you like this content, if you want more wacky Toonami news content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm the Super Orange Cat, and that is all.